Hello. Soda, you are spicy today. Did you wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Do we need to give you extra special care this morning? Good morning, everybody. I am slow going this morning, so I'm going to do my best to be entertaining. I'm tired. I went to a concert last night, and you know how when you leave the concert, there's always like immense amounts of traffic and nobody knows how to like take their turn, right? So I was in the parking lot for like half the time that I was at the concert, which was not fun. And I got home really late and I didn't go to bed till like midnight. And that's past my bedtime. So I'm sleepy today. I saw Blink 182. Yeah, it was great. It was my first time ever seeing them, and I've loved them since I was a kid. Like, it kind of felt like a blast from the past to go and see them. Like, I have core memories as a child of like rocking out, jumping on my bed, listening to music, like pretending I was like in the concert. Um, and then being there was like, oh hey, I did it. I'm here. I love Blink 182. What a coincidence. I also love Blink 182. But yeah, I'm sleepy. I am sleepy. But I'm good. I'm gonna be working on some flowers today. I wanted to prepare something for the painting. Uh, More of like a study of where I wanted to, I don't know, which flowers I wanted to draw. I'm thinking irises, but I'm probably gonna be painting some others. Hey, Alex, you're on your other account? Not looked into Alex. My goodness, you have a lot of accounts. Alex, the terrible gamer. My goodness. Beat the sun and getting up this morning. Insane, LS. So my body's really used to waking up at like 6 a.m., 6:30. And so it naturally woke up despite me going to bed really late. And then obviously I'm like, hell no, I'm going back to bed. But yeah, there's a moment of like, ugh, tired. Don't want to get up. But also my body's like, get up. Um, okay. But how is everybody doing today? What are you guys working on? Who's gonna be drawing along with me? Let's stick that there. I'm still kind of setting up, a little bit setting up. Doing laundry and dishes, that's valid. That's valid. We need to do some catching up on cleaning. We need to do like one of those deep house cleans. You know, to keep things tidy every day, but I just need to like mop the floor. You know, the adult things. No art for me. Oh no. Hi, Feisty. How are you? I saw Feisty, you changed your name. What inspired the name change? Ooh, oh, that's good coffee, Nexie. It was actually really nice. I mean, it's just an Americano, basically. Mm. Briticano. Ah, yes. Gaming a lot more, and now my gaming platform is taking off, so I figured I need to use my gaming username now. Okay, cool. I'm, I've always sort of done everything on one account. Every time I'm like, oh, I could try something new on a different account, I'm like, we'll just do it on the same one. To me, like all the effort into building another account, I'm like, count me out, sir. I'm gonna do it all here. Yeah. Good coffee. Sips instant. You know it. Yeah, I've been like, I keep having this feeling of like, I should probably drink a little less milk. I know I have an allergy, but it's so good in coffee. And then, but every day I'm like, no, I shouldn't drink this. I shouldn't drink this. I shouldn't drink this. And I may even be slightly sensitive to, coffee as well because I drink so much of it, but it's so good. How do I not? Yeah, the hand frother really helps it kind of feel like a latte without the milk. Yeah. I want to let you guys know I started a sub goal. So if you guys in 10 subs, I'll do a print giveaway to somebody in chat. Everyone will be able to join, but I wanted to do a little something, wanted to incentivize the subs a little bit. And you guys have been so generous. I really appreciate it since I've been back. You guys have been hopping back on the sub train, so I really appreciate the support on the channel. I wanted to do a little something in return for the subs. I know we have the Dayanora piece as a giveaway, but it's sub only. I was like, well, let's do something for everybody. I'm gonna have to figure out actually, is there I'm gonna have to figure out another option for hosting giveaway because while this one for Dayanora is running, I don't think I can run another one. I'm gonna need to figure this out. LS, will you look at another option for a giveaway? Maybe Stream Elements might have something. Good quality oat milk. It's almost as good. Soda, I like oat milk. The taste is good, texture is good, but it makes me really bloated. Like I just like it hurts my stomach. I don't know what it is. Um yeah, it's just something I've noticed because I've tried it. I've tried almost every single milk alternative under the sun and they all end up doing the same thing. Honestly, like what doesn't upset my stomach these days? That's part of the problem. Buying bloat milk, you're right. You're right. Yeah. I don't know. I kind of got to the point where I was like, if everything upsets my stomach, I might as well just have what I like instead of going to all this trouble to be like, I'm gonna have this thing. I'm gonna have this thing instead. Or like trying to find out what it is that's causing issues. I'm like, I'm over it. I'm just gonna enjoy the things I like and know that it might bother me. Yeah, I drank a lot of almond milk for a while there. Imagine seeing a doctor. That was the thing, LS. I did. They were like, Mina, no, you're good. You're good. You're good. I was like, I'm not good. Actually, you know what, Soda? You mentioned lactase, and that was an idea that we had, and yet I forgot about it until this very moment. You're absolutely right. I need to try lactase. Yeah, I do. And I know I do. The downside is that the other alternatives have loads of other things in them. So it's like, yes, they're free of dairy, but a lot of times they have like all these weird additives, like gums and flavors and fillers, and I'm really convinced that that's the stuff that bothers me. I'm so sensitive to this stuff. Me and Nexie both. Like we so there's this bakery that we go to. Favorite bakery, love it. But they have this lemonade and we got it once and the one time I got it I was like never having this again. It's just like too sweet, but literally made me feel like when we have too much sugar, we have this weird thing where we like our throats get really sore. And for me, like my skin will react. And so I'm like, nope, never having it again. And then Nexie had it again a couple days ago, and he was like, I'm gonna get sick from this. This is gonna make me sick. And it's like, to what? Like it's just lemonade, right? And it's both of us too. So I don't know. And really, you think so, Soda? I know my mom does. But her doctor told her it's not something that um you get until you're older, which I'm like, okay, but I have very similar symptoms to my mom. Peeps do it too. Oh my God, Peeps kill Nexie. Nexie had it wasn't even that many. It was just like a few, and he just had this weird reaction. Throat was tight, like not like a allergy kind of way, but like the burning and like stinging. He literally died. His ghost is here. It saw my gray hair started early. It was like, we're behind schedule. Fake sugars to make you sickly or break out mildly allergic reactions. Love it. Love it. I mean, these days, it's if I'm not just eating like rice and eggs and potatoes, like I'm unwell. Not like unwell. I would say like my health is a lot better than it was in the past, but it's like I definitely know what I can and can't have, and most of the time I'm not willing to sacrifice how it's gonna make me feel. Not me munching on sucralose and stevia. You just eat it straight. You just like just in your mouth, like crunch, just crunch the sugar. Can of fake sugars, I get super sickly, runs right through me, dehydrates me. Oh wow, that's intense. Oh, okay, less. I'm like, wait, you just snacking on it or, only sweet I really do. Stevia is not bad. It kind of depends on it depends on what it's in. Like I can't do it in something like tea because it always overpowers the flavor of the tea. But like if it's baking or if it's like yogurt or something like something that has a little bit more of a stronger flavor to it is a bit better. Hi, NA. I am having a wonderful day. How are you? Thank you for coming in. Yeah, it's kind of like I'm not really sick all the time anymore. Soda, thank you for the gift.
Soda Clown underscore gifted a tier 1 sub to she underscore feisty. They
Thank
have
you.
given
Hold
4
on, let
gift
me put my
subs in the
headphones in.
channel.
Thank you, Soda. I appreciate you. I realized I didn't have my headphone in. Thank you for the gift sub, Soda. I really appreciate it. Feisty, if you want to join in our sub giveaway, we're giving away an unpainted version of Dayanora. So if you would like to join, you can type exclamation point demon. It is a sub only chat. That's why you've got the goods now. And now we're only 9 subs away from the print giveaway. Soda, thank you. How's the art treating you? It's good. I haven't started today, just yet, but I will be drawing some flowers. I'm gonna do a couple studies. I'll probably do some roses. I think I'm gonna do some irises as well. But
Lemon!
also, if you guys have any recommendations for flowers that I should draw, then also let me know. Chat, what's your favorite flower? I'm gonna be painting this canvas. Hang on. So gonna be painting this canvas. Had a dream where there was just this smear of paint across here, and then these delicate little flowers across the texture. And so I just want to prepare, I don't know, just figure out which flower I want to draw before I actually do it. Soda, Soda, you're banned for today. Who let Soda in? He's not invited anymore. Ooh, gardenias. Ooh, I just realized I could draw jasmine as well. Cactus. Nexia and Soda, you guys can go sit in the corner together. You just put on the dunce hat for me. Forget me nots, okay. Hydrangea. Hold on, I'm gonna let's make a little list. What do you guys think? So I'll be looking into all of them. Hang on a second here. Um, Flowers. So we're gonna go with gardenias, get me nots, hydrangea, firebird dahlia. I don't know if I've ever heard of that. Ooh, red spider lily is a good one. My favorite flower, I would say iris, but I love roses as well. Hyulo. Dahlias. Just manifest when stream starts. Don't even have internet. You just appear somehow. I don't know that I necessarily have a preference of wild roses or traditional. Have I seen wild roses? Hold on. Oh, these are so pretty. Oh, I've seen these all over before. I didn't even realize these were a type of rose. All right. I got a little list here. We'll explore some of these. Grandmother used to grow these beautiful hot pink wild roses in her yard when I was growing up. They smelled amazingly. Oh my God, I bet. All right. Yeah. So I'm gonna do that soon. I want to hang out for a little bit. I just want to chat. I'm tired, so also if anyone is coming in, actually maybe we should be in just chatting for a little bit. Um, LS, can you update our category? How are you, Yulo? It's good to see you. I'm also, I don't know how this is gonna turn out today, and I'm pretty sure it's out of my budget, but I'm gonna go look anyway. There's some office space available here in the city, just a little ways away. And I'm like, as my projects start to expand, I'm like, I might need to look into some studio space. So I'm going today to take a look at um I it says office space, but I'm gonna see what it's like, maybe do my best to be creative. I think there's like an architect in there as well, and I can't remember what else he said. Who else was in there? Maybe a lawyer. So it might be a little more might be a little more like on the professional side, but I'm like, I mean, I do professional things. I'm just gonna turn it into an art studio. I told him that and he seemed okay with it. So, but we'll see. I want to see how big they are. He didn't tell me how big each one was, which office. But he said there were three available. So I'm gonna take a look. I'm excited about it. Might take pictures, might share in the Discord, might let you guys know how it goes. I do know the budget. I do know it's like slightly above budget, but I think I could make it work. I think. But I'm feeling really like cramped in here. And maybe it's because of the way my office is set up at the moment. Maybe it's because I have canvases everywhere at the moment. I don't know. I also need new storage, like really badly. I need to hang these big time. I need to put my art supplies somewhere. I don't have anywhere to store it at the moment. So it might just be a solution might just be to do that stuff first, and then I'll be fine. But I don't know. Nothing, no reason I can't go look. Yeah. So we'll see how it goes. Do you guys have any plans for the weekend? Any projects you're working on? Also, if you are hanging out and you've got any questions about art or any struggles that you're going through, also happy to talk about that stuff. Soda. I'm going to hang them. Thank you very much, sir. I've actually like it's gonna take me 2 seconds to hang them, but it's that ADHD where it's the ADHD thing where I have to get out all the tools and I have to get out the I guess I could do it on stream. Why not? But yeah, it's just like those extra steps. Yeah. The art needs a home. It does. It does. This one here, this one's actually for sale. I just don't have it posted or available anywhere. It'll get there. It'll get there. A lot of these are work in progress though. Some of them are done. Hold on, I'll show them off. So this one here is done. We worked on this one on stream. We got really beautiful little gold flakes with the blues and the blacks, and we've got touches of pearl in here as well. Very abstract approach on this one. This one's also finished. This one we used gold paste, inspired by one of the designs in my sketchbook. We painted it, brought it to life. Yeah. This one really excites me right now. I did this one in it was at 4 a.m. I woke up in the middle of the night, couldn't go back to sleep, had to get something out, just had my moment in the darkness with this canvas. Sun wasn't even up yet. And yeah, I really enjoyed putting this one together, and it's massive. Like, as you can see, it's almost as tall as I am. I have a portrait down there as well, but I'm not ready to let go of that one because I've been very experimental with my portrait painting, like the traditional portrait painting, so I want to hang on to it um for a bit and just use it for study purposes. But at some point this lady can go as well. She's not quite done. Um I gotta finish here, but at some point she can also go, just not yet. But yeah, if you guys are interested in whether it's any of these or anything in the future, I have a list that you can join. It's an email list, it's free. So if you guys are curious about when I do have art sales, um, go ahead and join that list. That's where I'll be notifying when we have a sale. And a lot of the sales will be live and they'll be online or in person. So I'll let you guys know about that. Thank you, Young. How are you? Welcome in. Were you screaming the whole time you were painting it? On the inside. On the inside. Hi, Blood. Thank you. I love this skirt. Going to a car show this weekend. No art this weekend. Hoping to get back into it once I have the time again. I love it. Enjoy the car show. That sounds fun. Hi, Elle. How are you doing? Yeah, I gotta get these hung up. Like, they're gonna look, I mean, in terms of presenting them, they're gonna look much nicer on the wall. Plus, there's nothing back here. Like, the only thing that's up there is my Silas A sign, and I really need to get work on the wall. I'm probably going to hang the traditional stuff and frame some of these possibly. I'm also thinking about getting the set of the elemental dragon girls done on canvas as well. So I'll probably also do that, put them back there. Um, yeah, I just haven't had a chance to do that. But yeah, these technically are for sale, but I'm saving this stock at the moment. Oh, you're getting a bunny soon. Oh, Elle, that's great. Yeah, I want to get a very large print done of my elemental dragons. Something that's just like sort of like a triptych. Actually, here I'll show you the girls I'm talking about. So as a set, oops, as a set, these three. So we have fire, earth, ice. Um, yeah. So I want to get these three done. Massive canvases. Get them back here. Yeah. Hi, Fishall. How are you? Can you give some tips for people who want to improve their drawing skills, but they're busy because of family and responsibilities? I think this is a really good question. I also specifically focus my educational material on this topic because I know how busy we all get. I know how our lives are, we have other responsibilities. Most people can't just like sit and draw all day. So I think this is a really great question. Um, what I would recommend, and this might seem like too easy of an answer, but it works. Take a minimum of 30 minutes a day and just work with what you've got in that time. And that might not sound like enough, but I want to give you some proof here to reassure you because I think a lot of people hear that and they go, well, that's not going to be enough. I'm not going to improve, so I'm not going to draw at all. When that's actually the reason that, you stagnate or you don't grow. So my portrait drawing bootcamp teaches lessons in this way. So at a minimum, my students draw 30 minutes a day, 5 times a week, and then they have one lesson a week. And that lesson is about an hour long. So they watch the lesson, they draw 5 days a week, applying what they learned in the lesson with our study methods. And this is enough time to develop your art skills. Where it gets hairy is when people think 30 minutes isn't enough time, that they don't draw at all. And then they're drawing on this inconsistent schedule that feels like every time they sit down to draw, they're really rusty again. So I would recommend having the consistency of doing it at least 5 days a week for those 30 minutes. And I would also pick a specific topic that you'd like to work on for that week in particular. So don't spend one day doing, portraits and then the next day doing, when it comes to studying, the next thing doing like something entirely unrelated. I would focus on doing one thing for a week in terms of your studying and then applying that to your projects. Hello, thank you for the raid. Nice lady over there. Thank you so much. How was your stream? Oh my God, I'm so excited that you came in. I was hanging out on your stream all night while you were drawing Shrek. I like could not leave. When you left, I was like, no, Shrek. How are you? Thank you so much for coming in. I really appreciate it. Guys, we've memed about Shrek before, but nice lady over there is an artist who actually draws Shrek in like all these different themes and definitely check her out. Her work is fantastic. I went in, I saw Shrek, and I was like, follow. Yeah, I went to Dooms as well. Both streams were fantastic. Doom was really cool. He was sharing like all this like convention advice because I want to start doing conventions next year. And despite being an artist for as long as I have been, I've never done conventions. So I was like, help me, give me advice. Yeah, I appreciate you guys coming over though. Hi Armpit, hi Custard, hi John, hi Shiz, Daya, Rasmus. Thank you guys so much for coming in. If it is your first visit, my name is Silas A. I'm an art streamer. I paint a lot of pretty ladies as well as abstract work. So the kind of stuff that you're like, what am I looking at? I also talk a lot about the struggles that we go through as artists. So things like art
Lemon.
block, comparison, all the stuff that kind of gets in the way of actually doing the work. I talk about that stuff too. And if you want to see more of that, I have a lot of content about that on my Twitter and on my Blue Sky. The Cupid Shrek is sending me. They're so hilarious. I love them. Yeah. Yeah, today, so we were just doing a little chatting. I just got started, but today I'm gonna be um studying some flowers. There's a painting that I want to do, and I need to pick a flower in particular that I'm gonna use for it. So, some space for Shrek on your wall. There is. Look at this. I have so much space for Shrek. One day I'm gonna get one of those. But if you guys haven't been to Nice Lady over there, their stream, go check them out. I feel like what you said about practicing 30 minutes a day could be applied to so much too. I don't draw, but I play the drums. I want to try and do the same with my practice. Absolutely. I think people really underestimate what you can get done in 30 minutes. And as someone with ADHD, I get it. Like my concept of time is already skewed. But then to think about, oh, 30 minutes, like what am I going to get done in 30 minutes? I can barely watch TikTok in 30 minutes, right? But I think when you sit down and really focus, it goes a long way. And the other thing is that, you know, if you really give your attention to that 30 minutes, and I'm talking like you're not tabbing out and looking at Twitter or you're not like scrolling while you're drawing, I think you can get a lot of really good focus time in. Soda, what? Soda, where did you get this? Soda, I feel
Lemon.
like you have a folder of like memes that you've made of my face from stream. Shiz. Okay, Shiz says, what if you can't focus? So this is a fantastic question too. So even if you have ADHD, there's a little trick that I like to use. It might be a little torturous, but it works for everybody. So if you have trouble focusing or you even have trouble like getting started with it, what I would recommend, yeah, Elle's like, Elle already knows. She's like, the chair. What I would recommend is put a relatively uncomfortable chair in the center of a room where you can't look at a TV, you can't like stare at a wall, right? There's no distraction. Sit in that uncomfortable chair for as long as you can handle, and I guarantee you it's going to motivate you to get up and go do the thing. And the reason for this is because our brains hate to be bored. And so if I always feel terrible giving this advice because it's agonizing, but it works. When you sit in that boredom long enough, your brain creates dopamine and then you'll go and you'll do the thing. Yeah. And it works every time. But no phone, no TV, no like podcasts or noise or anything. You just sit there in the somewhat uncomfortable chair. You can sit on the floor too. Like I feel like sitting on the floor is kind of similar because like your back's gonna start to hurt and it's gonna be a little uncomfortable. It'll make you get up and want to do something. Yeah. Basically, in short, make yourself bored. So you can really do this like anywhere in any way, but the key is make it happen in a space where you want to move and get up and do something else. Just saw a video thumbnail about why being bored is good or along the lines, something like that. Yeah, Bink. I think we live in a world where we're constantly distracted. Like there's always something that you can go do or you can see or like if you're standing in line, you can scroll your phone. If you're sitting at your desk, like you can open up Twitter, you can Google something. Like there's always an escape from the boredom, but when you get bored, it's going to it's going to push you to do something. Bored and uncomfortable. Double. When I get bored, I fall asleep. Shiz, just make sure you're in a space where you're not lying down. Yeah. Plus, when you're bored, that's when you get really creative as well. So you end up like your mind kind of wanders and it goes places it wouldn't normally go. And this is another really fantastic space to be in terms of being creative because when you're always, look at it this way too, when you're always looking at something, if you're always on social media or you're always like looking to media or watching a video, that's always going to influence your decision making. So if you don't have anything distracting or influencing. All you have is your imagination. It can take you places that isn't influenced by outside sources. Well, Shiz, I mean, I'd say give it a shot. If you fall asleep, I apologize, but can't hurt to try it. Oh, body doubling is great. Yeah, absolutely. That's one I like as well. The only thing is sometimes, so it depends on my mood, really. Like if I'm highly distractible that day, body doubling works great, but it has to be in silence. But if I'm like, in focus mode, sometimes I can talk while I do things. It really depends. That's why there's times on stream where I'm like, I get nothing done, or I get everything done. It really just depends. Yeah. Has streaming helped you stay focused? I see it as like, I mean, it's nice to have folks to talk to as well. Change everything. Oh, that's so good. Yeah, I mean, with art, it's one of those things that it's a long game, right? Like you're spending a lot of time drawing, and I think we spend a lot of time in isolation doing that. And as humans, I don't think we're cut out for that. I think we like being around people just in general anyway. So adding that to working on art, hanging out with people, it feels kind of natural. Struggle with consistency. I'm a very talkative person, but when I streamed art, I didn't get a lot of interaction. So I'd sit in my chair or on a call with my sisters to keep myself entertained. That's really useful. Yeah, just having someone to talk to. Hopefully that could be good in a studio space surrounded by other professionals. I think so. It might be interesting. I mean, I spend a lot of time outside of the office in general because I do spend so much time in here. So I think it will help. And again, I have no idea how this viewing is going to go today, but I think it would be nice to be around other people. And the town that I'm in it has a lot of art spaces. Um, they just weren't exactly what I was looking for. Like there's really big communities with other artists, but I think I wanted something that like I don't really know what I want. I guess that's kind of why I'm exploring it. Hi, fungi. How are you? You get distracted, not do much. That's kind of like why for me it depends on my mood because sometimes it's like I need complete silence, but having someone beside me doing it as well, or like, on a video call or voice call, is nice. But sometimes I'm like, I need silence. I can't, there's something in my brain. I don't know if you guys feel this way. Sometimes if I hear someone talking to me or a question while I'm really focused on something else, it like triggers something in my brain. It like goes and it like interrupts everything and that's
Soda Clown
very
underscore gifted a
disorienting for
tier 1
me.
sub to the nice lady over there. They have given 5
Soda!
gift subs in the channel.
Soda, thank you for the gift sub. I really appreciate you. The nice lady over there, enjoy your emotes. Can we get some emotes in chat for Soda? Thank you. We are 8 subs away from doing a print giveaway. So if you guys are interested in that, feel free to subscribe to the channel. Also, all subs get to enter into a giveaway for this lady. So Dayanora is my pre-order figurine, and the giveaway will be for an unpainted version of her. So those of you who like to miniature paint, this lady wants to be painted. I also have fully painted versions available with the pre-order. Both are available on the pre-order page. LS just dropped a link, so if you guys want to check it out. She's here. Look at her. Oh my gosh, she's beautiful. Yes. She also comes with a print. The illustration that she's based on, so the print's going to be larger than this one here, but this is the illustration that she is based on, and she's been in the works for over a year. It's been crazy, but I'm really excited that she's finally launched. All right, what do you guys say we get into drawing some flowers here?
Lemon.
Lemon. Thank you guys for the follows, by the way. Ye Old Fart, thank you for the follow. Ella Kale, thank you for the follow. Shiz, thank you for following. Appreciate you. And A, thank you for the sub. Thank you, thank you. Can we get some more emotes in chat for NA? Art within the first hour? What? Thank you, thank you. 7 subs away from our print giveaway. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it.
Lemon.
All right. Lemon. All right. Let me pull up my references here. Wow.
Soda Clown _ gifted a tier 1 sub to the nice lady over there. They have given 5 gift subs in the channel.
Lemon.
Is it sending multiple? Is it sending multiple notifications? Am I go crazy? Hi, Sunrise. How are you? I've been starting every day around 9 a.m. It's a delayed reaction. Yeah, it is doubling up. Why is it doubling up? Why is it doing that? Hang on. I must solve this. Oh, you know, I think I know why. I know why, but I don't know why. So when I change scenes, it seems like it sends them again. Why does it do that? Put the notifications on the chair. Let's try that, I guess. Soda, there's not enough space here. See, it's really close today. You're gonna be up my nose if I put my head under here. Never even looked. Expect to catch streamers from UK and Europe. Yeah, no, I'm starting early. Okay, we'll try that. We'll see. We'll see what it does. Who knows? All right, so I made a little list of flowers that I am going to look into today. Chat, if you have any flowers that you recommend, I'll throw them on this list. And if I have time, I don't know, I'll try drawing them. I'm going to start with the irises. Actually, no, just kidding. I'm going to start with the rose. What's on list so far? So we have gardenias, forget-me-nots, hydrangea, firebird, dahlia, red spider lily, and also just dahlias. Cabbage. Wait, Soda, I have a drawing for you. Hold on. I have a drawing for you. Wait for it. Wait, is it in this book? Hang on. Soda wanted cabbage. Soda gets cabbage. This is my abstract cabbage. You're welcome. This is for all the gift subs you've given. This is for you. You've drawn cabbage before? Wow. How'd it turn out?
lemon,
You'll send? Oh, I'm stoked for this. Yeah, this I can't remember. I've got like a bunch of weird stuff. I think this was after the day that Nexie and I went to Hyde Park and we drew all the flowers. And then somehow I was like, I'm gonna draw a flower. And then I was like, wait, this looks like cabbage. And it just, with the abstract, it just kind of took a turn. There's some weird ones here. Ooh, orchid's a good one. Okay, I'm gonna add that to the list. Oops. Anyway, first view of the day, cabbage. All right, let me make sure I'm drawing where you guys can see. I have it really close today. I was experimenting a little bit with like how close did I want to go? Pen, wake up. Sir? Hi, Noah. Good to see you. Whenever I draw flowers, I always kind of think about them like petal by petal. And the thing about roses, I'm gonna work on a rose here, but the thing about roses is like I feel like I can incorporate some of my abstractness into them. Like they feel abstract to me. Maybe it's because the shapes are super clear. And so there gets a point when I'm drawing the flowers where I kind of just make things up based on the shapes. And I love that about flowers. It's like, I mean, generally they have a look, right? But I feel like I can apply some of this abstraction to my flowers. Flowers are as complicated as fabric folds for me. Too much going on. Don't know where to start. I would do what I do. I just pick a petal. I pick a petal and I go. I think one of the things that drawing flowers has taught me, and I've drawn, quite a few since doing the abstract work and getting my sketchbooks. Flowers really help me loosen up. I think it's because I don't know, and let me know if you guys feel this way. If I've spent many years drawing portraits, and I think because when you draw a portrait, it's very important that you capture the likeness, right? Because if you draw a person with the intention of like, it needs to look like this person, there really is that pressure of you have to capture exactly what you see for it to be recognizable. But with flowers, it's like, you can recognize a rose from just a general shape of the petals. And so it's kind of reminded me that it's okay if things aren't completely exact. And it's definitely an interesting way to warm up drawing. If you find yourself really stiff, I think it's a really great thing to practice drawing. I feel like gardenias are also similar to roses in their shape and chaotic petal construct, but they do smell so good too. Very citrus kind of floral scent. I love that. I don't have a ton of flowers in my garden right now. I do have jasmine flowers though, and I love going out at night when they smell the most. It's like intoxicating. It's just beautiful smell. Yes, Soda. I was. I actually was. The truth is out. My only disappointment with the garden at the moment is that it's too small. I want more space. Next and I talk about looking into getting a house, but then like whenever I'm not in the city, I mean, I'd have to get a house in the city and just the price point. Yuck. And also, even if I bought a condo, like I'd still have neighbors in the same way and not enough space. Like, so I'm like, we're still renting, but the thought of like having a yard and a place to have more flowers sounds nice. But I feel like once I'm in it, I'm gonna change my mind. That too, LS. Like, I'm sure the housing market is disgusting right now. In my state capitalism.
Lemon.
Yeah. That's what I miss about my grandma's garden. There's so many lovely scents in the air. The bees would just float around for hours. It's so nostalgic. Oh, I love that. Feisty, I read that resonates with me so much. My grandmother used to have this giant lilac tree in her backyard, and it was this source of a lot of things. Like we would spend time around it a lot. Like there was like pictures of us in it, or like nearby it, and then I just remember the smell. It was like a very memorable moment of when you go to grandma's house. It just you get out of the car and it smells like lilacs. And um it was really sad when she moved. She ended up moving into a smaller place after my grandfather passed away. And the people who moved in tore that tree down. Oh my God. I had a moment when that happened. I drove by and it was like, oh my God. So do you would know. Soda, did someone put something in your coffee this morning? Just like it's okay if they did. You know, we still love you, but you're kind of have an attitude, and as part of HR, it's my job to tell you. You know, I don't want to make it uncomfortable or awkward for anyone else, Soda. Hi, Maddie. How are you? Don't mind Soda. He's on a little something. All right, what do we got? Oh, wow. Soda, this is actually a really cool drawing. I was expecting you to be memeing, but like this is actually really cool. What medium is this? Is this colored pencil? Also, is there a date on the sticker so I can know how old you are? Enhance. I can't read it. Lilacs are beautiful. One of my favorites. Oh, have you heard of a Christmas camellia? I have not, but I'm gonna add them to the list. Oh, you made it in 1997. Oh, pff, imagine if I could read. I just saw the art and was like, dang, that's cool. Soda, just to put things into perspective, I was born 5 years before you made this painting or this drawing. Sorry, you've had the spice all morning. I got the spice now. You know what? I'm gonna take that as you saying I look so young for my age. I'm gonna take it that way. The gray streak, that's my youth. Young face, old hair. Listen, my hair's confused. It didn't get the memo. Soda savage today. Here's the thing. Soda knows how I work, right? The meaner you are to me, the more I like you as a person. So, only if your name is Soda, though. Hi, Shu. Forgot setting arms right now. Don't know if I'll be able to put that practice on drawings. That's okay. Study what you want to study, Shu. Hi, Desmond. This drawing looks so British. Okay, I'll take your word for it. Hi, Elise. How are you? Nexie, I'm gonna need your professional British opinion. Does this drawing look British to you? Do these roses look of British origin? La-di-da tea crumpets. Yeah, Elle, what do you think? You know what? Let's just invite all of the UK. England cricket team. Maybe it reminds me of those fancy teacups for tea time and period dramas. Ooh, okay. All right. I could see it.
Lemon.
Come on. Cruz, thank you for the follow. Appreciate you. Avery, Dark Keychain, thank you guys for the follows. Appreciate it.
Lemon.
Zydio, how are you? I can see it on a fine china cup with gold around the rim of the cup and a matching tea plate. Oh, that sounds beautiful. I love that. Where can I get me one of those? The little gold around the rim, I'm in. Come on. All right, we got an ad. I'm gonna take a quick little breaky break, AFK. Maddie, how have you been? Since Sill's two best friends, me and Nexie are from the UK. It's the influence. It's rubbing off on me now. Pretty soon, the accent's gonna creep in too. All right, I'm gonna draw one more thing. Okay, quick break. Be right back. You guys do a thing. Check out some links. Go take a look at Dayanora while the ad runs. And I will be back. It's time for a cup of tea. All right then.
NA13 gifted a tier 1 sub to Tamales. NA13 gifted a tier 1 sub to Nema Isa. NA13 gifted a tier 1
What?
sub to Valamuth.
I had my headphones in and I went in the other room and I heard wow. And then I heard it again. And then I heard it again.
NA13 gifted a tier
And
1
then I
sub
heard
to
it again.
HG.
Wow. What are you doing here?
NA13 gifted a tier 1 sub to SciX.
NA, thank you. Oh my gosh. Okay, we are 2 subs away from our print giveaway. Not NA, thank you so much for the gift subs. Guys, let's drop some emotes in chat for NA. And if you got a gift sub from NA, make sure you say a big thank you. Tamales, Nemiza, Achji, Veilmoth, and Silex, enjoy your emotes. NA, thank you. Oh, I had my headphone in and I heard the wow, so I had to run back. Thank you. Hi, Good Are You? How are you? Those of you who got gift subs, you can also join in the Dayanora giveaway. So if you want to get an unpainted version of her to paint for yourself, you can type !demon in chat. What the heck? NA was sneaking that in while I was gone. I see you. I see you. Yeah. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. All right, well, I'm back now. Next, he was showing me he was working on a new drawing, which looks really cool, and it was inspired by some art we saw at the museum last week. And in that, I was like, go get tea. Okay, all right, all right. I'll properly get tea. I'm watching you. I'm getting tea, but I'm watching you. Actually, Nexi's getting me tea. It's very British of him. All right. Anyway, I'm back. So our roses. Yeah. I think I'm gonna keep these pretty sketchy, but oh, my skirt keeps getting stuck under the wheels of my chair. How do I fix this? As long as it's not microwave tea. No, 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 no. Nexi's British, okay? Nexi knows how to make a good cup of tea. Otherwise, he'd have to be exiled from his country. I mean, well, if he comes to the US, is it kind of similar? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Who's microwaving tea? Whoa, 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 whoa. What do you mean microwave? You microwave tea, piss off my ancestors. Hi, Cruz. Yeah, self-imposed exile. It was a choice. It was a choice. All right, let me actually look at my reference again here. Even when it's so funny because even when the tea gets cold, next he would never microwave it. He would always say, "Do you want me to add more hot water?" And to me, I was like, "I've never done that before." He just adds more hot water, and I was like, "Wait, you do that? You don't put it in the microwave?" You know how when tea gets cold and you're like, "Do you want me to pour more hot water in there?" And like I would have just microwaved it. But like you never microwave the tea. I guess that's true. Whoa, 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 whoa. Who's microwaving the tea? How are you, Gooder? Welcome in. All right, so we got some sketchy roses. Let's keep moving. Let's try the bearded iris. Let's try that. This one I think is going to be eventful. It's kind of an interesting shape. Nexi's nickname, Bearded Iris. Anyone ever had fruity teas like blueberry? Oh, I love fruity teas. There was I can't remember exactly what it was. It had blueberry in it. It was like a mix of blueberry uh God, it was like a tropical thing. We have another one though that has like mangoes in it too. It was super good.
Lemon.
Lemon. Thank you for the follow. Oh, Ring. Thank you for the follow. Over 20 types in my cupboard, but I just drink coffee. So I can't tell if you're memeing, but like that's also me. I'm not actually memeing. I have so much tea in the cupboard and I mostly drink coffee. Pineapple flavored hibiscus, lemon drop, orange blossom, raspberry. Ooh. You know, hibiscus is one that I always want to get on board with, but I don't tend to sweeten my tea so much. And but hibiscus is like a little too like sour. I'm not really sure how to describe it. Like the flavor is a little too intense without the sweetener. What what is the Seribot doing? Did we upset it? Did we upset the bot chat? Oh, NA did it. I was like, wait a minute. What? That's like some weird timing. Yeah, hibiscus does have that tartness. Yeah. I would mix lemon, ginger, and turmeric. Lived off that when I worked at this one major ski area. Made 20 ounces at a time. Would stuff the tumbler under my Carhartts. Oh, it'd be so cozy. Uh, black currant, black tea. Ooh, that sounds really nice. Hi, Milky. How are you? I'm good. Not too bad. I'm studying some flowers today. Preparing for a painting that I'm going to be doing. I realized I drew my iris a little bit close to my roses, so we're gonna lose part of the iris. Part of the iris is gone. It's gone. It's leaving. Today we found out Salad microwaves tea. I don't anymore. Listen, I've moved on. I've grown up.
Lemon.
NA. Really love Earl Grey. My friend got me a double cream Earl Grey. The only way I can describe it is it feels like a warm hug. That sounds amazing. I love a typical London fog. Put some lavender and the Earl Grey. So good. How do you usually shadow with pen? Cross hatching or other? I like to do a combination of hatching and line weights. This is a bit more sketchy, but if you want me to, I'll go through and add some detail and some light and shadow. It's good you've got a British man to set you straight with this tea malarkey. I know. Where would I be without him? Just a travesty of tea. Go to your thanks for the follow. I appreciate you hanging out with us. All right, where was I here? I'm gonna emphasize the shape a little more. I just had a dumb moment of like, wow, it sounds like a train's going by. There's a train right there. Softlines already looks great. Reminds me of the artist, but I don't know the name. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna, because I drew the iris a little close, I'm probably gonna create some depth with line weight as well, especially because we've got some overlapping sections here.
Lemon.
Lemon. Say with me, chat. Lemon. Need to get more oolong. Almost every ABC kid practically grew up on oolong. Oolong tea. Oolong. I will say one of the things that the abstract work has really given me a lot of confidence on, ironically, is uh my lines in general. I just feel like even from doing the abstract work, just the amount of time that I've put into working with cleaner lines, I feel like I have this immense control over what my pen does. And I know exactly where I want things to go and how I want them to look. And I never thought that that sort of confidence would have come from something like the abstract work, but it absolutely has. I think it's really easy to underestimate just how the muscle memory helps and goes a long way. I think it's also easy to think that, like, if we're not drawing with any sort of, intention, that it's not going to lead to anything, but that's absolutely not the case at all. I think the act of drawing, the awareness of, what you're learning, what you're doing, I think is really more powerful than people think. Hi Sane. Have a question. Hope you don't mind answering. Do you have any tips for someone who puts so much weight on art that it feels like gospel, if you know what I mean? I can't draw X because it doesn't have a big purpose. I can't draw Elf. I drew in last week. I can paint thins. It doesn't have a big meaning. Why does this artist draw what could have been the reason? I know it's too much, but I'm just becoming self-aware of it, and I was not allowing myself to draw and be free. I think saying so this is a great question. And this is something I think this is something I've experienced before where like as my work has grown in being known and popularity, it feels like there's a pressure to like make it something. And yeah, the high expectations. I guess my question to you would be, what's changed? What's changed about the process? What has made you aware of this? Because I think there might be some answers in that. For me, the expectations tend to come from, when I do a really great piece, and then I feel like the next one also has to meet that expectation. Or, in order to make art, a lot of times, like the art that I'm making is to monetize it. So it's like I have to make it big and important, or like otherwise people won't want it. But I actually think that, isn't necessarily true. Well, I do think having a story and a purpose behind it does help you connect um, with a buyer, but the buyer is also going to come to their own conclusion about a lot of things. So if you feel like you need that purpose behind it, I would maybe I would maybe do some journaling on this. What is it that makes art important for you? What makes you sit down and want to make just something? Like whether or not it has a big purpose, what is behind that? And I think you'll discover a lot of your purpose in that rather than thinking every piece has to have this big particular meaning, or an obvious meaning, even. And remember that sometimes other people really like giving their own meaning to it. You can make another lemon voice, but it's someone saying it after inhaling an almost fatal amount of powdered sugar from a donut. So is that someone supposed to be me? Or am I just gonna like grab someone off the street and be like, "Do you want a donut?" Have you ever wanted to eat a donut with a fatal amount of powdered sugar? Well, you're in luck, my friend, because I need someone just like you. Do you mind being recorded? Seeing someone who goes in the flow with the lines and have such control leaves me amazed. Taking decisions in the moment, avoiding overlapping lines. I think, Noah, this is really, like I said before, it's really come from all of the abstract work that I've developed in my sketchbook. And it's really just been about asking myself, well, I keep a couple things in mind. So a big part of it is asking myself, does this look interesting? That's like the first thing. Like, is it interesting? Do I like it? But then I'm also keeping in mind some rules about light and shadow. So I'm just looking for areas where when things overlap, what's creating a shadow. And I tend to darken that line. So for example, these petals are overlapping the sections underneath them. So I'm darkening that line where they overlap to indicate that there is a shadow there. But the actual act of like making the lines and drawing over them and thickening them. I think the precision, the control there just has come from like all the stuff that I've done. And I would say that this feels relaxed compared, like I would say my abstract stuff still feels relaxed, but it feels more relaxed in the sense of like there's even less control than some of this stuff. This stuff feels like it really takes my focus and precision. So as you can see, slightly looser, but I love sketching this way. I think your line work reminds me of manga or anime line work. I think it's so beautiful. Oh, thank you. Can you believe that for years, while drawing portraiture, I hated line art. Absolutely hated it. And now, like, fussing with the lines is one of my favorite things to do. All right, let me go back to this guy up here. Just wanted to create a little separation. I really do. If you guys fight with line art, I would recommend a couple things. Um, One, Drawbox is a really good option for working on your confidence with lines. But the other thing really is just like using the tool that you want to use and practicing drawing those lines and then drawing over them again. It's going to build your control, even if you're like drawing nothing. Like if it's just like a nonsense of lines, you're going to build your control by drawing on top of those lines again. Adding different like thickness to the line, different weights to
lemon,
the line. It's really, really helpful. You don't need to be drawing anything in particular to do it. Dr. Midnight, thanks for the follow. Thick lines, yeah. All right, back to the iris here. There's a lot more, it feels much more complex. The iris does. I don't want to get too detailed because I do want it to just be a study, but I also don't want to leave anything out.
Lemon.
Red Pancake, thank you for the follow. Pen, hello? There it is. Every now and then the big pen is like, I'm done working. You like ink too, MC? I've been spending so much time with the sketchbook. I've really fallen in love with traditional again. And one of the main things I think that's influenced that is I have this love-hate relationship with tech, right? So there's always moments where for me tech just doesn't work. And it drives me nuts. It brings me to a whole level of rage that I didn't know existed within me when my tech breaks. And so when I'm working digitally, the thought of like this is the setup, here's the step by step, I have to do all of these things. Whereas like with traditional work, I can just open my sketchbook and just get started. And I'm sure that there's a level of like, I can do that digitally as well, but there's something in my brain that's like, no, you have to do all these steps first. And it's just, my brain goes burr. So I've really been enjoying that aspect of traditional where I can just sit down and get started. Hi, Donba, how are you? Just joined your Discord, was wondering when I'll be able to see the other channels in there. I think I followed everything I need. MC, you should be able to, if you went through the rules and responded to the bot with reactions, you should have access. If it's about your the Twitch connections, you'll just have to connect your Twitch account to your Discord account, and you should get access to the other stuff. If you have trouble with it, drop our mods a message and they should be able to help you out. Pen, are you dying? No, you have plenty of ink. I'm doing pretty good, Zamba. We're drawing some flowers today in preparation for a painting. I'm exploring some flowers. I'm trying to decide what kind of flower I want to paint on this canvas. Should try to practice clean lines on traditional more often. I love mess, but I want to get more control of my lines, avoiding taking too long on them. I have those micro pens in different sizes, always too scared of using them. They do feel different than ballpoint. I will say that. The ballpoint, like the big pen is my absolute favorite tool, and I have those same pens as well, Noed. And I don't feel like I have the same sort of control. This is probably because I've just used this pen for so long. And maybe I would gain that sort of control if I use those pens more. But they feel, I don't know, the Bic pen has this feeling of it's like a pencil in a way where you can like build up on it. So I can be very sketchy. And maybe what you want to try is being sketchy with something that gives you that really thin, almost like not even their line, and then build up on it with the different size tips. But I'm right there with you. It's so much harder. Maybe it's because the ink is so much more, when it goes on the paper, it's like it's there versus building up like this. Um, Gotta admit, where is better? Here, YouTube, or on Twitch? So Twitch feels like the hub for everything. Um, Twitch is where, we do events. Twitch is where we have the most interaction. Um, Twitch is it. Yeah, I think the ballpoint pen gives more control. No, Ed. Yeah. Any advice on building texture digitally? Could be a software or pressure problem, but color is just flat by default. So, Queer Effects, I would, when you say texture, do you mean like the texture quality or are you talking about rendering? Because if you're rendering form and it feels flat when you add color, I would develop your values first and understand the form that you're applying that color to, and that could really help. Oh, hey, Dumba, you're over here now. Thank you. Yeah, we have lots of interaction here on Twitch. One could say the ballpoint pen is on point. It is. It is.
lemon,
Donba, thank you for the follow. I appreciate you coming over. Brushes texture, pixel brush. So there's lots of brushes to do this. I will say that, you can hand paint it, but you can also get specific brushes for whatever you're looking for. I find that texture works best when the brush itself has a bit of negative space in it. So it's not just like a brush that like covers the whole surface of the canvas that you paint on. I have this brush I just call it Sketch Boy, but it's basically a brush that mimics canvas texture. So when I paint using that, it leaves a bit of empty space so that the color behind it can come through. So if you think about like what happens when you use colored pencils, right? It's not like a completely opaque cover or like lay down of color, but rather you can see some of the color beneath it. I like to use brushes like that. Cat Tobing brush. Yes, exactly. Also got some line art brushes for Procreate and a Ghibli pack that has wonderful line art. I've I want to do more drawing on my iPad, but I really miss like the control of the opacity. It doesn't feel the same as it does in Photoshop, and I think maybe that's a tablet thing. Like I'm really used to the Cintiq, but I want to make the iPad work. When you draw digitally, what kind of software are you using? Apple or Adobe, or have totally something different? So I usually use Photoshop. I'm on a Mac and I use Photoshop. And my tablet I cycle between I have a Wacom Move Ink, I have a Cintiq, and I also have a Intuos. It really depends on what I'm doing. The Move Ink actually is kind of replaced the Intuos because it's thinner, works the same, and it's a screen. Yeah. Ooh, he's Krita. How do you like Krita? What a crazy flower this is. Definitely, I think if I end up going with an iris, I am going to try to simplify as much as possible because this flower is intense. Beautiful though, beautiful flower. Oh, Affinity Designer. I've actually never heard of that. Crit is great, hard to get used to. There's a lot of hidden things. You got to search to find them. Do you think Procreate is 1,000% meant for users who do not mind downloading brush packs and using them consistently? If not for the brush packs, I would not like them. Okay, okay. Interesting. Maybe I should give it another try with a brush pack. I've tried a couple. I feel like I've still haven't quite settled in with it. But yeah, I want something kind of sketchy. I also feel like my control on the iPad screen specifically, it's so slippery. Like, and I'm used to working digitally, right? So I don't think it's a digital thing. It's just the screen is really slippery. All right, let's try another one on the list. All right, so here's the thing. I did a little search for gardenias here, but there's all different kinds on Unsplash that they don't all look the same. Are gardenias similar? They like kind of have a similar look to a rose, or am I looking at the wrong image? Hang on. Bunch of white flowers with green leaves. No, sir. Not good tags. Very similar to a rose? Okay. Don't forget to ring the print giveaway for me. We have 2 subs left in our goal for the print giveaway. You guys were so close. If you want to join a print giveaway and win some pretty ladies, we're very close. And when you subscribe, you can also join in the subscriber giveaway for this lovely lady here. Here, we'll do extra close up. Our Dayanora figurine. So the giveaway is for an unpainted version. So if you guys want to paint her yourselves, that's what we're giving away. So it's not the painted version. If you want the painted version, you've got to check out the pre-order stuff. But we are 2 subs away from that print giveaway, and the print giveaway is for everybody. How do we get the art behind you? So NA, I don't have it up publicly for sale. If you're interested, I would hop in the Discord and send me a DM and we can talk. Can't remember at the moment. Is there a paper-like digital solution? I think a lot of people talk about doing like getting a screen protector or a cover. I've just heard a lot of positives and negatives. So the cover itself tends to add a bit of like a dullness to the screen. Some people have also said that it wears down the tip of the pen. I haven't used it myself, so I don't know for sure. Yeah, Feisty, I've heard they're too thick. All right. I don't know if this is a gardenia, but it's a pretty flower, so I'm gonna draw it. I Googled it on Unsplash and Unsplash is not giving me like definite, yeah. So I'm just gonna draw it. We're gonna roll with it. This one's really pretty though. Whatever this is. Hopefully a gardenia. Hi, Ars. I'm doing well. How are you? I have a cover on my iPad, makes me feel a little less slippery, and I enjoy it for drawing, painting, and Procreate, but it definitely wears the pencil tip down. Okay, good to know. Never had to change it before, but I got the screen protector now. It's every few months. Okay, yeah, that's a huge difference. Definitely something to keep in mind because, if you don't want to be buying nibs constantly for the pen, that's probably not the way to go. But the iPad is so slippery. There's got to be another option.
Lemon.
Infinity, thank you for the follow.
lemon,
I really like the softness of the petals on this one. Like it looks almost velvety. Hey Lex, how are you? Usually all that are like the iPad or this HP that I have now are all slippery. Don't use any of the screen protectors. Wacom's totally different story. Yeah, Wacom has like, I don't know, it's like still slippery, but it's maybe I'm just used to it. I might just be used to it. It does feel like they've intentionally added a little bit more texture without it being like it doesn't eat the nibs in the same way. Gardenia looks so flowy and airy. Like it's fragrant and natural. Thank you. I this picture that I'm looking at is really beautiful. I need to definitely add some line weight though, because it's not very clear at the moment.
lemon,
Wallace, thank you for the follow. I'm doing some flower studies today for an upcoming painting. I wanted to see which flower I wanted to incorporate. Hi, Fox. Good morning to you. How are you doing? We've drawn roses, an iris, and working on a gardenia right now. A gardenia based on what Unsplash has given me. So if it may not 100% be a gardenia. But it's a flower, all right? It counts for something. I want to capture the like fluffiness of these petals. Pen, what are you doing? Why does the pen occasionally just quit on me? What are you doing? Done a few drawings using the stippling technique. Love the look of it. Very time consuming to finish a piece. Yeah. Did you do it with a like a particular medium? Did you do pen? I've seen it done with like paint before, which is I feel a little less time consuming because the tip of the brush is like larger than a pen. But I can imagine, oh my God, with a pen, dear God. How often do I have to change pens? So with the with the Bic pens, they last so long. I it's hard for me to tell because I tend to just cycle through, like I'll keep pens in my purse, in my backpack, on my desk. So like wherever the pens are, that's the one I use. So it's hard for me to know like how quickly they run out. I bounce back and forth, but I've got a huge pack of them up there on my whiteboard. So I won't run out. I've got plenty. Tactical pen placement. This is the way. Yeah, I have them everywhere. I ran into a situation where I'd leave the house and then I'd forget one. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna put a number of pens in my purse and they're gonna be there at all times. Um, and then I always have one. So no worries. Do you have a specific pen type that you like drawing with, or do you use different pens? This one's definitely my favorite. The good old Bic pen. Yeah, classic. Classic office. Office pen. But it's so good. Like they're cheap, they work great. You can build on them as you can see, like it's you can start sketchy and then you can really start to refine things. So they're great pens. Yeah. And the funny thing is I have tons of other varieties and I always just come back to this guy. Need a big sponsorship, I know, right? All right. Hello. Oh, are we going to Costco today? Well, the thing is, I have mentorship meetings, and then we have the office viewing. So I don't think we're gonna go to Costco today. Um, but I might send you on a journey, or maybe we can stop later. Nah, we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. Just because we need some stuff. Um, you can make it a normal time. Maybe start at like 12. I don't feel super hungry. Yeah. Thank you. Do you ever find the ink from Big Pens fade over time? Don't think they use archival in those. So I don't use these for like finished work. Like I tend to sketch with these. Most of the stuff that's like it's in my sketchbook. So I mean, I've only been doing the I've really been deep in the traditional stuff for only about 3 months. So definitely don't think that's enough time for me to notice it. But none of this is like I don't know, finished work or anything like that. I do think I'd like an alternative with archival ink, but I don't know. I would need to find something like the Bic pen. Question goes both to traditional and digital. I tend to work a lot with hard edges, and when I need to build soft edges, for example, fold on fabric in the middle, I fail miserably. Any recommendations or tips to work with that? So, in terms of digital, you can use a softer edge brush. Um, so something like an airbrush, and you can transition it into something that has a harder edge on the opposite side. With a pen, it's what I would recommend if you're doing something like this with lines and maybe it's not a painting, I tend to go thinner lines on those transitions that I want to be a bit softer. Um, or if in my mind's eye I'm seeing that these areas have light touching them, I'll also go softer on the thickness. The thickness tends to indicate to me a transition or a shadow, some sort of depth there. So digital, I mean, digital, I think the easy answer is using some sort of airbrush, but controlling the edge on the opposite side so that you don't end up with something that's very like fuzzy looking, but you still have a soft edge. Um, and then with the pen, thinking about line thickness. Or I tend to think about like shadow areas as shapes. Even though I'm drawing a lot of lines, so for example, this area here is a shadow area, but I will still draw that in as if it's an edge, and then I'll tend to either hatch that in or I'll kind of thicken up those darkest parts in the shadow. Pen tier list stream soon, yeah. Uniball S tier, Lamy Giga tier. Can you do with Uniball is that a gel pen? Or is that also a ballpoint pen? Lamy, I think I'd really have to get used to. Sharpie makes art pens. That's the thing though. I want something that has the same sort of sketchiness as the Bic, and I feel like Sharpie also has that feeling of you put the ink down and it's like as dark as it's gonna get. Like there's no variation. But I could be wrong. I've only used a few Sharpies. Oh, Feisty, I just realized you dropped gardenias in the chat for me. I believe, uh, I don't think that's what I'm drawing. No, I don't think so. But it's a white flower that looks kind of similar. Well, close enough, right? Close enough. It's funny. Let's see. For the Uniball roller, according to their site, features acid-free and archival quality roller ink, which is useful for important documents that need to last. Well, it's definitely my art. I've used brush pens from time to time. Great for line variation for different line weights. Even if it's not the same, still beautiful. Like it a lot. Yeah, I really should explore some different types of pens. I have some, and maybe it just comes down to getting used to using those pens. But man, this one is just, it's so good. It's so good. Like the flow of the petals, it reminds me of a wilting gardenia petal. Some of those beautiful petals as they fold back. Ah, I love it. I'm glad you like it. Let's see, what else do we got here? Ooh, okay. All right, let's try out the orchid. This is a beautiful flower. Ooh. Okay. Let's see if we can fit our little orchid up here. I'm gonna map it out a little bit to make sure I don't make it too large. Oh, I forgot something. Oh, that's all right. There's like this little like seed or like a pod here. Really got to use my brain for this one. I like my screenless tablet. They have a nice feel. Just got to get that hand-eye coordination. Armpit, I agree. Like, there's something about the Intuos, and I've tried all sorts of tablets, but there's something about the Intuos that feels very precise and like the best way for me to describe it is like buttery. Like when I'm drawing it like feels very like whoosh, you know? And there's like just enough texture that it kind of has a bit of like a pull to it, like a grit. The veining on the orchid is really interesting. Very complex, but very interesting. Got the super cheap one by Wacom. It's into us with no bells and whistles, and most importantly, no battery to go bad. But I did go for the larger size. Oh, nice. I just got the Move Ink, which it's just one plug. Doesn't need to be like plugged into an outlet or anything. And it's slightly smaller than my Intuos, but it's half the thickness as well, and it has a screen. I really love this. My only gripe with it is that it's only 1080p. Um, but there are worse things to complain about. It's kind of hard to like put 4K on this small of a screen like this. I guess you can't really see it. That's what I'm using for my references right now. Oops. But it's super thin. Like, well, we're really close to the camera, but compared to my hand, you can see it's super thin. Hold on, you guys. I'll be right back. I gotta pee. Hang tight. Okay, I'm back. My brain is like, do I want to do all of this veining on the flower, on the iris? I don't know if I do. Thank you, NA. Think I'm gonna experiment a little bit with it because I want to get a sense of it, but I don't know if I'll end up doing it for the whole piece. Yeah, yes, you do. Are you sure, NA? Are you sure about that? I think, yeah, I don't know if you're sure about that. I do think the veining helps give the flower like its look, right? Like I think if I just left it like this, it's harder to identify um as an orchid, but there's so much. There's so many. It's gonna keep me awake at night. Okay, it might. It might. Get out of bed at midnight. Yeah, knowing me recently, that's been the vibe. So you're right. Better to handle it now and get my sleep. Is this a ball pen? Yeah, I'm using a big pen for my sketches here. It's really hard to see. Yep. It is so sketchy. I love it. I've been only working in permanent mediums. Um, One to challenge myself, but also because it was one of the techniques that helped me get through my art block. I think like there was definitely this tension that had come from some of my digital work that it was like almost a paralysis. And I lost a lot of that worry when I started working with permanent mediums because I couldn't change it. It was like the line I put down was the line I put down, and I had to work with it. And it made me pretty confident in, the decisions that I was making. But then if it didn't come out how I envisioned it, I was also okay with that. Which I think is kind of interesting to think about because I've been a professional digital artist for almost 10 years now. And to think that I could be blocked in that way is like, how even? But it was the perfectionism was very insidious and it played a big part in my approach to my work. So this has been, despite being less forgiving, I think it's helped my perfectionism. And even when I do make the wrong mark, it's just kind of like, okay, cool. Which of course translates to my digital work. But it's also kind of forced me to move a bit slower and be a bit more thoughtful with my drawing. Hi, Ghosty. How are you? Nice Lady's a brush pen gal, loves them. I've got to try. I think I'm scared of the brush pen, but I gotta try. Trying digital with a few shades of gray and a hard round brush. Usually do graphite. How do you like the transition? Can have a whole page of flowers here by the time we're done. Hi, Roxa. How are you? Oh, you guys can't see what I'm drawing. I'm sorry. I think the petals of the orchid are slightly thinner than I've made them here. I'm not quite enjoying the thickness of them, but that's all right. I hear like a child screaming right now. Hang on. Hold on one moment. Like literally it sounded like a child screaming at the top of their lungs. That was odd. But it stopped the moment I looked out the window. I didn't see anything out there. It's a bit like a painting where it looks good and then breaks down when you look closely. Kind of fun, not using layers or outlines or sketches, just painting with it for now. I love that. I think that's a great approach to it. Digital always felt like painting to me as well. All right. Maybe we can sneak a little one in down here. I think I'm gonna let this one go for now. Um, let's see. What else do we got? Um, all right, chat. What if forget-me-nots look like? Oh, let me Google. Okay, they are these tiny little wildflowers. All right. Oh, these are cute. Oh, these are so cute. Oh my God, these are so freaking cute. Okay, I'm gonna definitely draw these. We can sneak these in down here. Love your harpy art. Want to learn how to draw wings? I always think about wings as this layer. So like each of the wings is on its own sort of tier, and as you move down the wing, you add on the different layers of the wings. Hi, Jake. This looks amazing. How do you decide where to weight your line art? I'm adding my weight wherever I see an overlap or wherever I envision a shadow is being cast. So on the flowers, for example, some of these petals that are overlapping the petals beneath it, I like to thicken those areas to create the depth. Sometimes if, it's not overlapping anything, like let's say on this bottom edge, I'm thinking about the light as well. So like if the light is coming from above, this is kind of my default way of thinking about it. If the light is coming from above, then the underside of these forms will have a bit more of weight to them to indicate the shadow that's being cast. So I guess you'd think about it as ambient occlusion. But as you get more complex lighting situations, you might add weight in different areas. You're welcome. Yeah, happy to help. What kind of art do you make, Jake? Learned a lot of the color theory on digital. It's quick and less messy, makes process a bit faster. I want to try out on traditional once my semester starts and see what I learn this summer. Noad, I will say this, as someone who feels super confident in my color theory digitally, and I mix the paints similarly, like I'll use the RGB slider and add, blues and reds and, take things away. Um, I still wrestle with mixing real paint. And I think it boils down to the amount that I mix in, where it's like I intuitively understand the amount when I'm mixing digitally, but I don't yet intuitively feel like I get it yet traditionally. It's so funny how like there's still that discrepancy, even though I'm like, I know why I'm mixing these paints, but it's not the color I want. And I think oftentimes it boils down to like the actual temperature of the color when mixing traditional paints as well, which I keep in mind digitally, but like there's a lot of subtleties. Yeah. It like makes my brain like I get super frustrated because I'm like, I get it. Why wouldn't it do it? I've been doing it so long. It doesn't make sense. Yeah. Do digital painting, mainly people. Very nice. I also am a portrait artist as well. I do a lot of fantasy characters. These sorts of beauties. I'm studying flowers today, though. I want to do a traditional painting and I want to throw some flowers in. I'm really leaning towards this iris. Like, I freaking love irises, but also the roses really speak to me. I feel like I could just draw roses all day and life would be good. Okay, let's draw these forget-me-nots because they're freaking adorable. These, what's cute about this reference image is the forget-me-nots have grown in this like flower shape. It's not a flower shape, a heart shape. I've been following you for a long time. Just tend to lurk over chat since I'm working. Your art's amazing. Oh, thank you. Yeah, no worries. Lurk away. You do you. All right, let's draw these little guys. Hi, Rocket. How are you today, Rocket? All right, so these flowers have this cute little like star sort of shape. In the center. See a flower dancing in the middle? Yeah, these are actually flowers. For once, I'm not doing something abstract. I'm studying flowers. Looks like a flower today. Yeah. You're so used to being like, hold on, let me guess. What is it today? Yeah. We've got roses, an iris, an orchid, and gardenia. I did this, I don't think is actually a gardenia, but my search misled me. But it's close. It's close. And now I'm gonna do forget-me-nots. I think I just heard a falcon. Hang on, guys, hang on. I hear him. I hear him, but I can't see him. Okay, anyway. Sorry. Burb. Getting close to the time of year, my street ends up covered in crows. Oh, I love crows too. They're so cheeky. I have a nose ghost. Can you guys hear my nose whistling?
Lemon.
Lemon, who followed? Tack, thank you for the follow. These flowers are so adorable. And they have these tiny little stems, tiny little buds. I'm running out of page space here. Think we almost did. Let's see, we had one, two, three, four, five, six, seven. Seven. We've done one, two, three, four, five. Wow, five out of the seven. He's pretty good today. I'm gonna finish these up. This was a really fun study. I've really been enjoying doing the studies in my sketchbook, and even when, it's just a page of studies, it feels very pretty. Like I just like to look at it. I feel like I wanna, I've been keeping a lot of like more of my like sharper work in this sketchbook, but I think I want to migrate to the big boy sketchbook from this one. This is my cheaper sketchbook, but like the pages look so pretty. I think they deserve a place in the big boy sketchbook. Dinner time was fun hanging out. See you next time. And hey, thanks for hanging out. I really appreciate it. Enjoy your dinner.
Lemon.
And Ellie, thank you for the follow. How are you? All right. Let's have a look at the whole page. I'd say we did pretty good today. There's definitely a part of me that is still kind of, I don't know. I like the iris. I'm leaning towards the iris. I'm also thinking roses just because I love roses and I love drawing roses. So, I don't know. Haven't decided which one I'm gonna go with, but chat, what do you think? I definitely want the flower to feel like it has a presence, but it still maybe has a delicate quality to it. I don't know if I'm gonna color these. This was meant as a study, but I will, whatever I end up painting will be in color. I think the iris is definitely the centerpiece of the entire page, brings it all together. So here, let me show you the canvas I'm gonna do it on. So this is the size of the canvas. There's
Lemon.
gonna be sort of like a smear of paint here, and then the flowers are gonna come up from the bottom and intersect the paint. So I
Lemon.
want the flower to have some sort of presence, but also contrast, whatever's gonna go here. I haven't decided on a color yet. Um, I don't know. I might just have to do it and see. Mixing two or three. I guess it could be really nice to do a couple of the flowers. Yeah, I think that's a good idea. Coloring these ones could be fun though, just like as an exercise. But I love the lines as they are. If you do the iris, it will provide the sort of abstract feel you're going for, but also remain flowy and unique. I do think the silhouette of the iris is really distinct. I think you're right. And I think I could even push further how abstract I go with it. Um, like as I look at this, I'm kind of thinking about it in pieces. Like the petals are like their own sort of shape, and I think it could really do something with that. Hear me out. Naked horned elf in front of the paint smear wearing the flowers. That is an idea, Rocket. That is an idea. Yeah. I think this could be really beautiful. The iris just like I don't know if it's just because of, how central it is to this drawing, but it's really speaking to me. All right. Yeah. Feel good about it. Okay, so let's see. Feel like it's so unique and flowy. It fits the vibe you mentioned entirely. Its own standalone statement, but won't take away from the image itself either. The iris does look to be in a vaguely humanoid standing pose, the petals being extended arms. They're just T-posing. They're asserting dominance over us. Yeah, I think this was a really good study though. It kind of gave me some ideas about the direction I might want to take it. I kind of just want to draw flowers all day now. What have I done? But no, this was fun. I appreciate you guys giving me suggestions for flowers as well. I didn't even realize what I don't think I'd ever consciously seen and known what a forget-me-not is, and these are so absolutely cute. And the orchid was such a challenge, and the gardenia is really beautiful. Looks like the flower in Alice in Wonderland, the wise one who confronts Alice in the forest. Ooh, interesting. Yeah, okay. I think it came out really great. You can keep drawing flowers all day, follow the momentum. I suppose I can. Yeah. Of course, I have other responsibilities. Love the flower sketches. You should sell prints. I definitely think I could. That's the one thing is like, I'm using the Bic pen, which is not like archival, but I definitely could sell prints of these little guys. We'll see. Down the line. We'll see. But I'm gonna send you guys off in a raid. I think it's time I go figure out food. My stomach is growling at me. So let me see who's on. I just want to say a big thank you to everyone who subscribed today, as well as gifted subs. I really appreciate you guys. We're 2 subscribers away from the goal. We'll probably hit it. We'll probably hit it next stream. But the goal is we're gonna do a print giveaway once we reach 50 subs. Okay. Let's see who's on. Uh, oh, Palm is on. All right, we can do that. All right, so I'm gonna send you guys off to Palm. Make sure you show lots of love. Um, Before you guys go, if you want to, again, check out the pre-order for Dayanora. She is, there's 100 of these available right now. The fully colored version is available on, the fully painted version is available on the site, as well as unpainted versions. But if you sub today or you got a gift sub, make sure you type !demon in chat if you want a chance to win a giveaway for an unpainted version of her. Same figurine, she just doesn't have any color. So you'll be able to paint her. But other than that, go ahead and check out my other socials. I talk about things like art block, comparison, all the challenges that we artists run into. And lastly, if you guys want to learn portraits, I do have a portrait drawing boot camp. So it's designed for people who are busy, who have lives. I think we all do, but specifically designed for those people to get improvements with drawing portraits without spending tons of time drawing. You can type !learn portraits if you want to check that out. Otherwise, I will see you guys next time. Not tomorrow. I'm traveling tomorrow, so I won't be on tomorrow, but I will see you guys soon. I'll update you in the Discord.